What's up guys, this is MAJER Eddie, and today for Major Tips we're going to learn crooks. Alright, so foot setup. I like to keep my front foot about right here, just about like an ollie. You know, where you'd put your feet for an ollie. And then when you're approaching the rail, be sure just to bend in your knees. And then when you ollie, try to aim above it. So your nose is up above it, your tail's already up. You don't want to be like halfway like this, because then it won't work out, you know? So make sure you're up and above it and you're pushing down and your tail's up and just lock in. When you're approaching the rail, you don't want to come at too much of an angle. You want to come parallel with the rail, just perfectly like straight with it. And then as you ollie, you don't want to like hit the complete nose slide, and you don't want to do the back nose grind. You want to land perfect right in between a back nose grind and a nose slide. Your front foot will hold it down. Your back foot will keep it out here, but not too far. It'll keep it from going too far out, and it'll also keep it from being too close into the rail. It'll keep it at the perfect spot. So this really balances out. Your front foot just stays there strong and holds all the weight in there. Alright, so when you're on the crook, I keep my front foot on the very tip of the nose, just like that, flat, and the back foot just right about there. And then a lot of people have trouble getting out. When you get out towards the very end, you want to do like a little nollie. Just turn your foot a little bit sideways like this while taking the weight off your front foot, and it helps you just pop out and level out. If you find yourself going like for a crook and it's going kind of like lazy and you find yourself doing this, it's probably because you're not getting high enough and you're not holding all the weight down. You want to make sure your nose is in there like flat on the rail to get that right crook, you know? Another thing is that if you're going for a crook and you find yourself like having them a little bit like a back nose grind and not really tweaked up, you want to be able to aim for that little spot at the very edge of the rail or the box. You want to aim like directly for that. You want your truck to be straight, like all the pressure on this little piece. That's when you get that tweaked up crook and you get that pop out and everything. So another thing people have trouble with is when they get out, I guess it ends up flipping on them and they land primo, either way, which way. A way to prevent that would just make sure you keep your feet flat on it towards the very end. If your feet are flat, it'll never let room for it to flip over. It'll hold it, so no matter what, you'll land that. Just, trying to let your feet come up. So for round rails, it's pretty much all the same thing, except for you want to aim at the very top of the rail because there's no edge. So you don't want to be off to the side, or you just want to try to keep all the pressure on the very tip of the round rail. Just right on top of it, all the weight straight on top of it, just like you would do any other grind on a round rail. You just want to keep right on top of it. Alright guys, so after you get down that crook, it's a really fun trick. You could end up switching it up if you want to, like crook back lip, crook back smith, back tail. You could flip in, flip out, half cab, nollie. There's a bunch of things to do. Actually, I'm going to try some right now. So let's do this. Okay guys, so that was Crooked Grind. I hope it helped you guys out. If you did and you want to show us, be sure to tag us on Instagram right here. And also remember that we do this every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe over here. Thanks guys. Laters.